So, finding Samasthiti. And take one free breath here with your Ujjayi breath. Tone in the vocal cord. Deep breath in through the nose as you root down through the feet. And a full breath out as you reach out through the crown of the head. And we'll start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, bringing the arms over your head, spinning the palms up, reaching up through the pinkies and the ring fingers. Exhale, up and over with a long spine, hands to the mat. Folding over the legs and bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, half lift, press through the feet, reach the heart forward. Exhale, step back into a high plank, lower the knees to modify, and bend the elbows for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can roll through the toes or move through tabletop. We'll take 5 breaths here. Taking this chance to settle into the body. Establish the breath, that deep, steady breath in and out through the nose. Smoothing out the edges of the breath. Good, we'll take about 2 more breaths here. On your next exhale, fully exhale. Empty of breath, step or jump to the top of the mat. As the feet land, inhale into the half lift. Exhale as you fold, legs are strong, bending if you need to. Inhale, come to stand, press down through the 4 corners as you reach the arms over your head, palms press. Exhale, floating the arms back down to your side. Again like that. Inhale, arms over your head, press through the feet, reach up. Exhale, fold, fully exhaling at the bottom, hands to the mat. Inhale into half lift, hands to the shins or on the floor. Exhale, step or jump back. Legs are strong, draw the lower belly in as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift the heart, press through the shoulders. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Just feeling into the body. What's the body feeling like? What's the energy like after these first few movements? Drawing the lower belly in. So it feels like you're hollowing through the front of the pelvis. And finding a drishti point, somewhere to rest the gaze, a soft gaze. Maybe it's along the thighs or towards the navel. 1 more breath here. Fully exhale, empty. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen through the spine. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, come to stand. Pressing through the feet, reaching up through the pinky and ring fingers. Exhale, Samasthiti, floating the arms back down to your side. Again, inhale, arms over your head, moving with the breath. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Legs are strong. Inhale, half lift, press through the feet. Exhale, step or jump back. Keep the shoulders away from the ears as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe lifting the thighs, legs are strong. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling. Come back to the breath. Deep, steady breaths in and out through the nose. You're spreading the fingers wide, pressing through the base of the pointer finger, and wrapping the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body. Yeah, so the shoulder blades move away from each other, and you're widening the upper back. Keep the breath moving. 1 more breath. Keep reaching the hips this way. Good. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Draw the lower belly in. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down, reaching up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let's move into Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, take a deep breath in, free breath. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the chest, arms over your head. Exhale, fold forward, straightening the legs as much as you can. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Shoulders away from the ears, tone the lower belly. Inhale, press the shoulders down, lift the heart up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, lower the back heel. Inhale, come up, Virabhadrasana. Press through the feet as you bend into the right knee. Exhale, come back down. Step back into a high plank and bend the elbows. Remember, you can modify, lower the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot forward, back heel down. Inhale, press down as you come up. Exhale, come back down. Keep moving, keep breathing, bend the elbows. Inhale, maybe lifting the thighs, legs are strong. Exhale, downward facing dog. Or child's pose, you could always take child's pose. And if you're in down dog and you feel a lot, like so much of the weight is in the hands, bend the knees and reach the hips up and back. And then keeping the hips there, see how much you can straighten the legs. They don't need to be all the way straight. See how far you can get the heels towards the floor. Keep wrapping the shoulder blades, relaxing the neck. Good. Deep breaths. One more. Fully exhale. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale as you land and lengthen. Exhale as you fold, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend the knees. Lift the arms, draw the lower belly in. Exhale, Samasthitihi. One more. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift up. Keep sinking the hips. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Bend the elbows slowly. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the shoulders down. Reach the toes back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward. Inhale, press down. Square the shoulders forward. Arms over your head. Exhale, come back down. Step back. Fully exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward. Inhale as you come up, root down through the feet. Exhale as you come back down, step back. Exhale as you bend. Inhale, upward facing dog, deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog, full breath out. Good. Or child's pose. Settling here. Smoothing out the breath. Good. One more breath. Drawing the lower belly in. Fully exhale. Step or jump to the top. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, lift the chest. Drop the tailbone as you lift the heart. Exhale, Samasthitihi. Bring the feet hip-width distance apart. Hands to the hips. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, catch the big toes. Bend the knees if you need to. Inhale, reach the heart forward, and then exhale, fold. Keep drawing the lower belly in. Point the elbows out to the side, relax the neck. Shoulders away from the ears. Good, the knees can be bent. If they're straight, you're lifting the kneecaps, engaging the quads. Stabilizing your foundation so that the spine can release out from the pelvis. Good. You can separate the feet a little bit more. Good. And bend the knees as much as you need to. Good. Relax. Releasing all along the spine. Good. On your next inhale, lift the heart, straighten the arms, fully exhale as you bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, come to stand into Samasthitihi. Top of the mat, feet together. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift, press through the feet. Exhale, step or jump back. Keep the lower belly drawn in as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to move into Trikonasana. Bring the right foot forward, lower the back heel. and you're going to straighten both legs, open out to the side, and reach the left arm up towards the ceiling. And then you can readjust that right hand if you need to. It can be on the shin, it can be on a block behind the right foot, or it can be on the floor or catching the right big toe. Wherever you are, you're straightening through the legs with a micro bend in the knees, pressing through the feet, pressing down and away from each other through both feet, and that's going to help you stabilize the whole posture. Rolling the shoulders away from the ears, nice, and lengthening the spine. One more breath here. Keep the lower belly drawn in. Exhale, gaze down for balance. We're going to move into half moon pose. So shifting the weight onto the right foot as you bring the right hand to the top right corner of the mat. Pick up the left leg and reach the left arm up. So the hand can be on a block, on any level that works for you, or directly on the floor. And the gaze can be down, to the side, or up towards that left hand. And you're rooting down through the right foot, reaching the tailbone back towards the left heel as you reach the heart forward. So you're spreading the lower back instead of arching and compressing the lower back. Good. One more breath here, deep breath. Exhale, bring the left hand and the left foot back down to the floor, hands framing the right foot, step back into a high plank. Inhale in the high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left foot forward, back heel down. Trikonasana on the left side. So reach the right arm up. Good. And if you feel like the torso is coming way forward, then lift that left arm a little bit. So you can open the chest to the side without arching the back. Good. Keep rooting through the feet, down and away from each other. Drawing the lower ribs in, so you're not arching the back, and you're lengthening the spine. Good. Strong legs. One more here. Exhale, gaze down for balance. Shift into half moon pose, left hand to the top left corner of the mat. And then reach the right arm up. Good. Flexing that right foot. Flexing or pointing. Yeah. See if that helps you to connect into that aponic pattern through the pelvis, where you're not arching the back, you're spreading the lower back, drawing the lower belly in, and rooting down through the four corners of the left foot. Strong standing leg. Good. Let's take one more breath here. And as you exhale, bring the right hand, the right foot down to the floor. Inhale, stepping back into a high plank. Exhale, slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Trikonasana B, step the right foot forward. Lower the back heel. This time you're squaring the hips and the shoulders forward towards the front of the mat. Left hand stays down on the floor. And as the right arm reaches up, you're twisting the spine. And if you want to deepen the twist, left hand comes to the outside of the right foot. And again, you can use the block underneath the hand if you need to. So legs as straight as possible with a micro bend in the knees, especially if you're hyperflexible. So you're really using the strength of the legs, the quad muscles, to stabilize and root down, pressing the feet down and away from each other. Good. And then clipping that right hip back as you reach the heart forward. Smooth breath. On your next exhale, gaze down. Shift the left hand to the top left corner of the mat. Twisted half moon pose. Shift into the right foot as you pick up the left leg. And the right arm can reach up, or you can keep the right hand on your hip. But you're reaching the heart forward and over towards the right. As you keep that left leg strong, reaching back through the left heel. Good. Keep pressing through that right foot so it's as if the pelvis is floating above the femur bone and you're not sinking into the right hip. Good. So keep lifting, lifting. Good. One more breath here. You know, this is harder than it looks. Exhale, make your way to the floor. Inhale, step back into a high plank. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot forward. Square the hips and the shoulders. And reach the left arm up for twisted triangle. Right hand down, left arm up. Good. Nice. Good. Just move this foot to the side a little bit. Yeah. I'll give the hips a little bit more space. Good. That looks really good. Pressing both feet down and away from each other, stabilizing. Good. You can open the stance a little bit more. No, like move the foot back. Yeah. Steady the breath. Draw the lower belly in. And on your next exhale, gaze down for balance and shift into the twisted half moon. Good. So left hand, right hand is the top right corner of the mat. Good. And then you're opening to the side. And feel that right heel and the heart moving in opposite directions as you press through that left foot. Feel that stability coming from the pelvis down into the left foot and from the pelvis to really draw the lower belly and spread the lower back. Good. Notice the breath. Where is the breath? One more here. Stay with it. And on your next exhale, come down slowly with control. Step back. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come into Parsvakonasana B. Step the right foot forward, lower the back heel, and you're going to bend into the right knee. And then you're going to open up to the left side of the mat and reach the left arm over your head. The right hand can either stay on the floor on the outside of the right foot, or the forearm can come up towards the thigh. Good. And you're bending the right knee and moving that right knee back over the right ankle. So you're moving into the hip, into the external rotation of the right hip. Keep bending into the right knee, press into the right heel as you press back to the outside edge of the left foot. Draw the lower belly in, reaching the heart up towards the ceiling without arching the back. So keep reaching that tailbone back towards the left heel. Good. One more breath here. Inhale, we're going to move up into Virabhadrasana B. So reach up, lift the torso, arms out to the side, gazing over the right fingers. Stay here. Press down and away from the 2 feet. And reach out through the elbows in opposite directions as you relax the shoulders and the gaze is soft. Good. On your next exhale, let's come into reverse warrior. So sliding the left hand down the leg and reaching back through the left fingers so you feel that nice side stretch. Breathe into the side body and roll that right shoulder away from the ear. Good. Bring the tailbone down so you're bringing the sit bones underneath you as you bend into the right knee a little bit more and reach back through the right fingers a little bit more. One more breath. On your next exhale, windmill the arms down to the floor, framing the right foot. Inhale, back into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. We're waking up the legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. So the other side, left foot forward, come into Parsvakonasana. So keep the left hand down on the floor or the forearm onto the thigh as you open to the side of the mat and reach the right arm over your head. Good. Starting from the ground up, pressing the feet down and away from each other as you keep that left knee over the left ankle. Good. Roll that shoulder away from the ear. So you're rolling it this way. Good. Drawing the lower belly in. Good. Let's bring the shoulder here. Good. So you're wrapping. Yeah. One more breath. Inhale, coming up to Virabhadrasana. Feel that steadiness through the legs, your connection to the ground, as you soften through the neck and the shoulders and the gaze. Good. Steady, keep the breath deep. Sitting with any sensations that are arising, letting them be there. Exhale into reverse warrior, slide down the right leg, reach back through the left fingers. Good, keep that left knee over the left ankle, bringing the sit bones underneath you, breathe into the side body. Good. One more breath, maybe going a little bit deeper. Good. And on your next exhale, windmill the arms around, framing the left foot. Inhale into a high plank. Reconnect with the breath if you need to. Exhale as you bend the elbows. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Inhale, we're going to bring the right foot forward. And keep the hands on the floor here for a moment. So you're going to come bring the right foot in between the hands. If it's difficult for you to have the hands flat on the mat, you can also bring 2 blocks and place the blocks underneath the hands. Good. And then you're going to reach back through the left heel and feel how that starts to really open the front of the left hip. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can lift the right heel also. Lift the right heel off the floor so you really feel like you're reaching the right knee forward as you reach back through the left heel. Good. So you want to feel that stretch, that opening through the front of the left hip. For 3 more breaths. Yeah, and if you need to, come onto your fingertips. 2 more breaths. Keep reaching the right knee forward, the back heel back. Good. Exhale, lower that right heel if it's lifted. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the left arm up. We're going to move into the Parsvakonasana B for a twist. And then as you exhale, you're going to twist over to the right, and you can either bring the elbow to the outside of the right thigh, or you can bring the shoulder to the outside of the knee so that the left hand comes to the floor on the outside of the right foot. If the elbow is making contact, you can bring the hands to prayer. If the left hand is on the floor, reach the right arm over your head. Or up towards the ceiling, your pick. Good. And then you also have the option of lowering the knee if you need it. If that back knee is lifted though, really strengthen that leg, engage that leg. And keep moving that right hip back and towards the midline as you bend into the right knee. Good. 1 more breath. On your next inhale, moving up to Virabhadrasana A. So lift the chest, arms over your head, lower that back heel. Inhale, straighten the right leg, interlace the fingers behind the back. Take a deep breath in, we're moving into Humble Warrior. Exhale, bend into the right knee again. Let the torso slide on the inside of the thigh. As the hands move away from the hips. Good. And if you're super flexible, try not to let the head rest on the floor. So you're using the strength of the legs to support you. Good, 1 more breath. Inhale, come up. Exhale, frame the right foot with the hands. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's do all that on the other side. Inhale, left foot forward. You can put blocks underneath the hands if you need to. Really want to maximize the space between the right knee and the left heel. So you're opening the front of the right hip. If you want, you can come up, lift that left heel. And it feels like you're spreading the back too. Good. Keep reaching back to that right heel. Drawing the lower belly in. Good for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, lower the left heel if it's lifted. Inhale, lift the chest, reach the right arm up, take a deep breath in. Exhale, twist over to the left. To prayer. You can also do the bind here if you want. Good. Back leg is strong. Gazing wherever it's comfortable for the neck. And as you bend into that left knee a little bit more, move that left hip away from the rib cage. Deep, steady breaths. 1 more. On your next inhale, let the inhale bring you up to Virabhadrasana. So lower the back heel, reach the arms over your head. Good. Inhale, straighten the left leg, interlace the fingers behind the back. Take a deep breath in, exhale, fold. Humble warrior. Relax the neck and the shoulders as you press the feet down and away from each other. Good. 1 more breath here. Inhale, come up. Exhale, frame the left foot. Inhale, step back into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, jump through to seated. Come to a seated position. Legs out in front of you. Come to Dandasana. So legs straight out. Hands next to the hips. Good. Feel the sit bones rooting down. The legs are strong. Feel the heels rooting down with the hands next to the hips. And find a straight spine. If it's difficult to find a straight spine, elevate the hips onto a blanket or a bolster. If anybody needs that, I can grab it for you here. Good. Tucking the chin down. Keep the lower belly drawing in. So this lowest part of the lower belly, just above the pubic bone, feel that part drawing in and up. And as you take deep breaths, feel the rib cage expanding and moving back towards the center. Good. Feeling into the residue from the standing postures, from all of that effort we put into connecting with the ground, stabilizing our foundations. Let's take 1 more breath here. Inhale, reach the arms over your head as you wrap the shoulder blades, reach out through the pinkies. And then as you exhale, reaching up and over to reach forward and create space along the spine. And then at your limits, you can hold onto the feet. You can bring the fingertips alongside the legs on the floor. Inhale, again, draw the lower belly in and reach the rib cage away from the hips. And then exhale, you fold into that space you've created and you've opened up. And do that as many times as you need to, using the breath. And as you move into the forward fold, relax the muscles along the spine. So the back is slightly rounding and you're relaxing the neck. Keep the legs strong. Good. Watching the breath moving through the body. Good. Let's take 1 more breath here. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Let's go straight into Purvottanasana. So you're going to slide the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing forward. So reverse plank or reverse tabletop. So if you need to modify, you can bend the knees and plant the feet. If not, keep the legs straight with the feet together. Inhale, lift the hips up, and then if the neck feels okay, drop the head back. And you're lifting the heart up, lifting the pelvis up. Good. If the knees are bent, gently squeeze the knees in towards each other, but not touching. If the legs are straight, bring the feet together, internally rotating the legs. Good. One more breath here. Lift the pelvis, lift the heart. Exhale, slowly come down. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. You can use blocks underneath the hands if you want. Cross the shins. Inhale, lift up, jump back into a plank. And we're going to hold the plank. So we're going to pause in the plank. Good. And then you're going to lower the knees. And if you're on blocks, actually, let's move the blocks over to the side. Good. Lower the knees to the floor. And you're going to pick up the feet. If you want, you can cross the ankles. Good. This is for Carol, I think. It was Carol, right? All right. So you're going to bend the elbows. Actually, sorry, pause. Put a block in front of you. And you might need to move the block if you need to. And so you can choose. If you want to make it harder, you can come to the lowest part of the block. If you want to make it a little bit easier, you can go for the middle height or the highest height. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to bend the elbows, bring the forehead to the block. Inhale, come back up. And then you might change your mind. You're like, actually, I want it on the highest level. Good, good. All right, we'll do that again. Exhale, bend the elbows and keep the elbows close to the body but not touching. Lower down, come back up. Good. We'll do that 3 more times. 3, lower down, come back up. And notice if the shoulders want to come up towards the ears. Move the shoulders down the back. Exhale, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, come back up. Good. Exhale, come back down. I'm watching. Inhale, come back up. Good. And let's take a break. Come into child's pose. Good. And also notice if you want the hips to like hike up when you do that. You want to try to keep that straight line when you bend the elbows into that. All right, come back. Let's do it again. Just do it 3 more times. Maybe 5 more times. Draw the lower belly in so you're not arching the back. Make sure that you're drawing the lower belly in so that you're spreading the lower back. So it feels like you're dropping the tailbone. Squeeze into the armpit so that the shoulders move away from the ears. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale into child's pose. Good. And since we're here working shoulder strength, we're going to keep this theme going. Let's take a couple breaths here in child's pose. Okay, now we're going to come into our forearm plank. So bring the forearms parallel to each other. Elbows on the floor. And we're going to come into a plank position from here. Spread the fingers, and you want to feel the elbows pressing down. So the shoulders move away from the ears, and the upper back spreads. So you're pressing the elbows down, so it feels like the shoulder blades are moving away from each other, and the spine is lifting up between the shoulder blades. Draw the lower belly in, reach the sit bones, the tailbone back down towards the heels. Legs are strong, and reach back through the heels. On your next inhale, you're going to start to walk the feet towards the elbows and lift the hips. Good. So we're coming into like a dolphin, but you're shifting the gaze in between the forearms and lifting up onto your tippy toes, so lift the heels. So you're trying to get the shoulders as close as possible to being over the elbows. Walk the feet as close as you can. You can bend the knees a little bit if you need to. And lift the shoulders over the elbows. And then maybe even lifting the hips over the shoulders. And again, press down through the elbows. Press down through the elbows strongly, actively. And then you're gonna shift the gaze back towards the feet. Press the elbows down and forward and reach the heels towards the floor. Good, so it's a different way of holding dolphin where we're opening the shoulders a little bit more. So you're pressing the hands and the elbows down and forward, pulling the head through the arms, looking back towards the toes, reaching the heels towards the floor. Bend the knees if you need to. Okay, exhale into child's pose. Good. We're gonna do that one more time. And if it's like the endurance that's a little bit difficult for you, try to stay with it. Try to modify where you can. And breathe through it. So all of those pieces are gonna be important for the inversion that we're gonna try today. Okay, let's try it one more time. Come into a forearm plank. Forearms parallel to each other. Good. And first you want to find a straight line with the body, where you're rooting the elbows down, spreading the upper back. So you want to feel like a hollowing through the front of the body. Legs are strong. The whole body is strong. See if you can release any tension in the neck. Soft gaze between the forearms. Good. Deep breaths for 3, 2, elbows root down. 1, start walking the feet in as close as you can. Come onto your tippy toes. Shift the gaze is still between the forearms. Good. And then see if you can press down through the elbows even more. Shoulders away from the ears. Deep, steady breath. Soften the neck. Good. And now shift into the dolphin, where you reach the heels towards the floor. Shift the gaze back and press the elbows and the hands forward. So it feels like you're opening the armpits. Good. Deep breaths, drawing the lower belly in. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Come into child's pose. Good. All right, how are we doing? All right, sit up. We've activated our shoulders and told them what we want them to do. Let's try the option of going up into Pincha Mayurasana, which is forearm stands. And if you want to use a wall for this, totally fine to use a wall, where you have a wall in front of you, and when you bring the legs over your head, the wall can catch you. But I kind of think I think it's really useful to work on trying to like make the way up like slow and controlled. So there's another way of using a wall where you can walk the feet up the wall. I'll show you. But so what we're trying to do here, let me back up. What we're trying to do here is we're trying to get the hips over the shoulders. And like if you can do that with the feet on the floor, it's just gonna make coming up a lot easier to just shift into it. Rather than if the hips are here, then you have to kind of kick your way up, and it just makes it harder to find the balance. If you're kicking from here, and then granted, of course, you need like really long hamstrings in order to get the hips over the shoulders while keeping the feet on the floor. So if you want to use a wall for that, let me see where I can go where everybody can see me use the wall. Let's see. I think you guys can still see me. I might be really tiny. But, so if you're here and you want to use the wall, just walk up the wall, and then bring one foot up, and then see if you can bring the other foot. You know, the legs can be apart at first to find the balance, and then eventually maybe you find the center line. So give it a try, and remember that feeling of pressing the elbows down. That's going to really help you stabilize. And like use the strength of the whole shoulder girdle to support you rather than just like your shoulder joints. Yeah? I can help if you guys want. But elbows parallel to each other. Remember, try to think about it instead of like kicking yourself up, try thinking about it as like shifting the weight, a shift of weight. And find a gaze probably somewhere between the forearms is where you can find the gaze. Nice. Good. Press down through the elbows. All right. Get the hips over the shoulders. Good. Good. Press the elbows down. Shift the gaze forward. Shift the gaze. Look forward. Look up. Look other way. There you go. Good. 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 Bring the, nice. Very nice. But start a little bit closer. Start like here, I think. Start like here. So that when you walk up and you straighten the legs, the hips are over the, you see what I mean? The hips are over the shoulders. Yeah. 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 I'll help you. I think it'll be easier if I help you, especially if you have your elbows on the mat. Yeah. Because if you want to use the wall, the way I showed you, like walking up the wall, you need to start close to the wall. So that when you start walking up and you start to straighten the legs, the hips come over the shoulders. Do you know what I mean? Nice. Yeah, exactly. So nice. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Straighten the legs and then walk the feet as close as you can. Walk the feet as close as you can. And then keep pressing the elbows down and look forward. Shift the gaze forward. This way. That way. Yeah. Okay. Walk forward, walk forward, walk forward. Good. No, you're okay. Nice. That was awesome. It's important to learn how to fall too. And if you want to challenge yourself, try lowering down into baby bakasana. Good. Walk. Now just bring one leg up. One leg up. Good. Now click into this hand. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So maybe for you, so you see how like it was easy for you to lose that foundation? Are you okay? So so right there, that's the moment where you felt like your foundation collapsed. So this could just be your pincha, like just holding this, and see if you can hold this without collapsing. Another good drill for someone who's like still building the foundation in the arms is to go from this position that we did, try lowering down and then coming back up. Kind of like that bent arm strength that we did before, but like the pincha version. So from here you lower down, get the forehead as close as you can without collapsing, and then push back up. Yeah? So it's like you're bringing your shoulders. That's a really good drill. Yeah? For someone like you who's like comfortable in the pincha, you can play around with lowering down. So from here, lower down into baby bakasana, and then maybe lift back up. Just, if you want to take it to another, to just like challenge the balance and the strength a little bit. All right. Shift the gaze forward, Carol. I see a lot of people wanting to do that. And I wonder if that's because it feels like it's easier, like looking back. But looking forward will help you counterbalance. And then how much you look forward just depends on how straight of a line you're coming to. Nice, Carol. Nice, Kumi. Well, Kumi, you're going to be ready when you start to practice this in second series. So nice. Good. So notice, do your shoulders want to collapse? If you're someone who your shoulders want to collapse as you try to go into it, let's all do this drill together. So come into this dolphin where you're bringing the feet as close as you can, gazing between the forearms. Good. And now we're going to sink the shoulders down. Come all the way down as close as you can before you feel that you're going to collapse, and then push back up. Good. Exhale. Inhale, push back up. Let's do 3 more. Exhale. Inhale, push back up. Exhale. Inhale, push back up. One more. Exhale, maybe go a little bit lower. Inhale, push back up. Good. All right. It's hard. But if you do that, that'll like prepare you to like, when you start to lift the legs, to like hold yourself there. Yeah. All right, let's take a plank. Inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Inhale, downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, let's jump through to seated. Let's do Gomukhasana. Should actually be a great pose to release the shoulders after all of this. So you're gonna cross the right leg over the left leg. So Gomukhasana, there's two options. There's like the Ashtanga intermediate series version, where you lift the hips, you cross the right leg over the left, you lift the hips, and you try to bring the feet as close as you can towards each other, and you sit back onto the heels. I can't sit back all the way because of my ankle, I don't think, yeah. But so you're here, and I've never felt comfortable in this posture, and then, you know, it's just kind of, your legs are kind of like all squished, but you know, it's part of it. You're like, part of it is like you're creating like a knot down here to help lift the energy up along the spine, yeah? So if that's too much for you, you can do like the yin version where the hips are on the floor and you try to get the knees to cross, to stack, and let the feet kind of just be next to the hips. And this is also a lot. So maybe you need to like place a block if you need like any sort of support, a block underneath the knees, maybe. Good. So choose which version you're gonna work on, and then you're gonna interlace the fingers and wrap them underneath the knees. Good. So I like to do it underneath the bottom knee. And you're gonna drop the tailbone and lift the heart and drop the chin. Good, I'm gonna take 5 breaths here. So you kind of feel like you're pulling on the knee to help you lift the heart. But keep the tailbone dropped. So you're lifting the heart, but you're not arching the entire back. Draw the lower belly in. Good, for 3 more breaths. Keep lifting the heart, dropping the shoulders. 2, 1, release that. And bring the arms out to the side. You're going to internally rotate the left arm and bring the hand behind the back. Externally rotate the right arm, palm faces up, and bring it back. Bend the elbow and bring it back behind you, so that maybe you bind the hands between the shoulder blades, or you can use a towel or a strap to help you make that bind. Good. And then with or without the bind, if you don't have the bind, you can also just catch the base of the skull with the right hand. And you're going to wrap the right elbow in towards the right ear and lift the elbow up as you gently gaze up. Good. And you keep wrapping that elbow in so that you can get that nice stretch along the side of the shoulder, where you feel like the shoulder is connecting down into like the rib cage. Good. Keep dropping the tailbone and lifting the heart. Deep breaths. Good. And release that. And you're going to reach the left arm to the side. You're going to do a side stretch. And so you have the option of just keeping the hand to the side or the fingertips on the side, or dropping down to the left elbow. And you're going to reach the right arm up, catch the back of the neck again, and reach the elbow up towards the ceiling. Good. So you're getting in that side stretch. And I actually think that if you're doing like the full Gomukhasana, the first version I showed you, this would probably be kind of awkward to do from there. So maybe you want to come down onto your hips. Feel the right sit bone rooting down as you reach out through the right finger and press down through the left elbow and the left hand. Or the left hand, depends on what's making contact. Good. Take one more breath. Breathe into the side body. Inhale. Slowly come up. All right. Let's switch sides. Do everything on the other side. Left leg comes in front. So if you're doing the 4 version, you have to kind of like come up on your hips. I need to like come up onto my hands so I can really get the left leg over, bring the feet together, and then sit back. Oh, this side I actually can do. Yeah. And then it kind of like gets a little bit tricky to balance if you're doing this version. And so you kind of want to feel like that left knee is rooting down towards the floor. And that might help you to find some stability. Good. Interlace the fingers. If you're doing this version, you catch the top knee. If you're doing the seated version, maybe you're catching the lower knee. It feels like you're pulling on the knee to lift the heart. But then make sure you're not lifting the sit bones also. Drop the tailbone, lift the heart, and pull the shoulders down the back. Keep the chin dropped. So you feel that line moving up along the spine, out through the crown of the head. Deep breaths. One more breath. Exhale, release. Let's do the other hands. So the right arm comes under, the left arm comes over. Maybe taking the bind. Good. Wrap that elbow in, lift the elbow up. One more breath. Exhale, release. And then if you're in this version, you're going to have to come down to your hips. Reach over to the right side. Reach the left arm up, catch the base of the skull, and lift the elbow up. And so notice, you really need to root that left hip down, drop the tailbone, and reach the left elbow up to feel the stretch on the side. Pressing the right elbow down as you reach the left elbow up. Breathe into the side body. Draw the lower belly in. One more breath. Inhale. Slowly come out of it. Good. Now you're going to come up and just come straight onto your knees. Let's come into Ustrasana. Interlace the fingers. Inhale as you reach the hands down, lift the heart up. Just take a mini back bend here for now to start. And as you feel the heart lifting, feel the knees squeezing in towards each other as you draw the lower belly in. And notice that gives you a little bit more lift through the heart. Good. Deep breaths for 3, 2, and 1. Release that. Come down to your heels. We're going to do Ustrasana again. You can do that same version again, or you can tuck the toes, come onto your heels, or you can untuck the toes, bring the hands onto your feet. And then either version, you can drop the head back if it feels okay on the neck. A third option, or a fourth option, is to bring the blocks next to the feet and bring the hands to the blocks. So, if you haven't already, inhale, lift up before you go into it, and then exhale, slowly move into it. And then once you're in your Ustrasana, press through the feet, gently squeeze the knees in towards each other, and move the hips forward. As you draw the lower belly in, lift the ribcage away from the hips. Good. Deep breaths. Good. For 3, 2, and 1. Slowly come out of it. Press through the feet. Strong foundation to come out. And then exhale. You can either make your way into a child's pose or into a squat, into Malasana. Good. All right, when you're ready, you can take a vinyasa. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. And lie down on your back. Let's do some bridges. So bend the knees and plant the feet. Feet parallel to each other. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone towards the heels, the knees forward. Inhale, lift the pelvis up. And then you can stay in bridge pose, or if you'd like, you can go into the full wheel pose, Urdhva Dhanurasana. Wherever you are, the feet are parallel to each other and the knees are moving in towards the center. Don't allow the knees to splay out to the side. That'll compress the lower back. Keep spreading the lower back as you use the strength of the legs to push through the feet and lift the pelvis. Good. For 3. If you're in bridge pose, you can catch the ankles or interlace the fingers. 2. Deep breaths. 1. Slowly roll down the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Good. Let's do that again. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, reach the knees forward. Inhale, lift the pelvis. We're going to the full Urdhva Dhanurasana. Deepen the breath. If you're in the full wheel pose, press the hands down, press the feet down. Wrap the elbows in towards each other, wrap the shoulder blades. Gently move the knees in towards each other. You might need to turn the toes in and the heels out. Good. Lift up through the sacrum. Wherever you are. 1 more breath. Exhale. Slowly come all the way down. Roll down the spine so the sacrum is the last thing to touch. 1 more. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, knees forward. Inhale, lift the pelvis to bridge or full wheel pose. Good. Press through the feet. Legs are super strong. Breath is deep and steady. Good. A little bit more in like this. Yeah. Good. More wrapping through here. Good. 1 more breath wherever you are. Exhale as you slowly come all the way down. Roll through the vertebra, 1 at a time. Hug the knees into the chest. Good. You can take happy baby if you'd like. Whatever you need to release the spine. And we'll rock up to seated. Take a vinyasa. Inhale into your high plank. Exhale into chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come onto your knees. We're going to work with headstands. Since we worked on inversions, so this is actually slightly, is in a more accessible inversion, but it really helps us to build foundations for harder ones. So you're going to interlace the fingers, bring the elbows shoulder width apart so you're making like a triangle. And you want the wrists to be strong, so you don't want the wrists to collapse, and you want the outside edge of the hands to be touching the floor. So you might want to like tuck that lower, that bottom pinky in to really just get like a flat surface across the wrist and the hands. And then again, press through the elbows. Don't lower the head yet. First, tuck the toes and lift the hips. And then from here, really establish that stability through the shoulders by pressing the elbows down. And then from here, you're going to tuck the chin and bring the top of the head onto the floor, the very top of the head. And you want to bring it to a spot that's the center point of that triangle you're making with your forearms. And then from here, you could stay here. This can be your headstand. Maybe the knees are a little bit bent. Or you can start walking the feet closer, bringing the hips over the shoulders. Keep the elbows rooting down. Maybe you come into a tuck position first. Maybe you find the center line. And you want to find that hollow front body position that we try to find in the forearm plank. So try not to arch the back. Keep spreading the back side, strengthening the front side, pressing through the elbows. All right, come up if you haven't already. Or just come into the prep. Good. And just notice if the shoulders want to collapse and at which point they want to collapse. So you want to stop just before that point and hold. And that's your headstand work. At the point just before the shoulders want to collapse, and hold it there, rooting the elbows down. Coming to the very top of the head, not the hairline. Good, so good. That looks great. And then once you're wherever you are, see if you can slow down the breath a little and deepen the breath. Just really pay attention to the inflow and the outflow of the breath through the nose. So nice. Good. We'll take about 5 more breaths here if you want to play around with the halfway, the pike position. You need the hips to move back a little bit as the legs come down to counterbalance the weight of the legs. And again, keep rooting down through the elbows. Drawing the lower belly in. Good. If you're in the halfway point, inhale, try coming up all the way to the center line again. And then exhale, make your way back down to child's pose, slowly going down. Good, nice. We'll all meet in child's pose. Inhale, make your way into a high plank for one final vinyasa. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated, or just make your way to seated. And we'll lie down on our backs for final resting pose, Shavasana. You can face either way. Yeah. Opening the arms, opening the legs, taking up space. Completely relaxing the body. Feeling the support from the ground beneath you as you completely relax. Releasing the tension behind the eyes, the tension in the throat, the tension in the jaw. Staying here longer if you'd like to, but if you're ready to move out of it, start to make small movements with the body. Start to deepen the breath. Stay here longer if you need to. If you're ready, start to bring the knees into the chest. And fall over to either side of the body. When you're ready, slowly make your way back up to a seated position. We'll find a comfortable seat here. Just one final moment before we go out for the rest of our days. One final moment to connect into the space, to connect into the residue of the practice, and just settle into the experience. Feeling into the sensations in the space of the body. We'll finish with the closing mantra. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for being here in person. Thank you. Thanks for being here at home. Thanks for joining us.